Ken Ofori Atta na yire no mu de here alatani na na Ghana ni no because me tisi ase na yire no mu de here
na yire yetu
wo de yire no mu alatani na Ghana ni anyway I'm only asking so what trockrata ba say nikunu surgery na yesi e be no ya yawie na mom be ma no be hia bosome porpore emiensa una me sha se fi innocent ho so you say 90 medical days extra say eno minim say the working days and medical days maybe Monday to Friday 90 and I said maybe innocent to be the best person to explain this to us. Many should say who medical field Tony ho enti said the one him dada no ebano prostate hunia maniamana there's a new medical technology UK for na then crofobin na dey sade na ba first nanka wo Johnson no prostate na semba ho a yitwa okase tenten na ya dabi robotic surgery no your body to say pew na ye wie eno no kura na ye wie ya wa cha 3 days yesi bibia wa asase so wie person ye bia no which we hear because you're correcting a comma near the amount but Ken Ofori Atta the end there ye wie na mom no ohia bosome porpore miensa na ode atiapo wie na so beba Ghana na waba precious match wo ye over to you
Captain ma mencha watie for la menka say you sympathize with Ken Ofori Atta because yare the obia to me yare said the bia mesikano and cancer nya dia the toswa the papa so for him to being exposed to your friend saying such a situation is an ordeal. I definitely know he will have to go through and as a forum. But the what makes this whole thing funny the aspect the people communicating to the government of this country, the people who are giving out the information and as a forum, because there has been a formal activation of communication between Ken Ofori Atta and the Office of the Special Prosecutor. Any Nema Bia Air Kosubiano, that former channel no should be activated. Relevant information is available. Biano must not even come from Ken Ofori Atta. Maybe the hospital by now should have been able to establish that link. So Ken Ofori Atta agree that kind of communication can be streamlined. Anything that comes to Ghana will appear to be an official statement coming from Ken Ofori Atta and the doctors. That one is official. We take it for something value. What the analysis are. We cannot base this whole thing on a theory that has been propounded by a wife. Are you very insignificant in this whole thing? Koso. Obetimia can then some, but the thing is, can the state take in someone wife formally? Abra, the state near ready to go after the person in this particular manner. For me, I think that this whole thing, they are just joking and toying with the people of this country. And I have sat on this platform and I have told you, sir, Ken Ofori Atta and you're not being so about Krumase. So Ghanaians should just forget about it. So president, the government, any former channel that has to be activated. So extradition, the way a man will go after things, yes, surgery, sometimes, you anticipate possible complications, because cancer, if it is true, complications, but some of these things, must not come from a wife. Say, Ken Ofori Atta person taking it serious, the doctors actually formally to the Office of the Special Prosecutor or the people of this country say, these are some of the reasons why, because we anticipated there may be a possible post-surgical complications, and then as a we want full recovery for the person. And he says this period, then you bet me the number. So whenever you are communicating in that particular line, a man for will take you serious than a wife or in any medical way, and in some now it's not backed with any fact. He will come a basana. That resurrected the long-held notion and impression. Some of us will say the gentleman is not ready and are not prepared to come to this country because prior to the surgery, and I've told you, say, not on you be another bedridden, or you be a obetimaka or dampam on to me nante, and you to be magana, or be on to me flight him then as a phone because you see, some of these surgeries, you know, your friend is saying, how do you call it? Surgery, an emergency surgery. Some of these things, you know, sometimes a planned surgery. That is why I'm on long term. So it means that you put to sometimes they give you time and whole lot of stuff. And all this time I can offer it and Ghana back and forth for so Mayo Clinic was so bad faith. He never demonstrated any good faith, say, or back Ghana to account for what things that he has done in this country. And said the Mr. Kachiro, Ghana for are angry and they are in expectant mode. Very often, they say, a will be a captain. Among for sympathizer with a person. See, a castle will be area. It doesn't matter. The Nippon or enemy crana. You see, said there is a bit of empathy. But if you go to various social media platforms and you see the way and manner Ghanaians are reacting to this Ken Ofori Atta tenor, you could see that there is zero empathy in this whole thing. Because you know why? Nema Kosu Okroma Ken Ofori Atta at the center of the epic scandals of corruption. And we are talking about people who have significantly suffered at the hands of this gentleman. A man from a bank, Papa Kwasindu, say the man is not even well. I will be okay, you mama, man for a Jumura, and they are dying a Kaura and not Teho. Or see about things as a man from Betches in the because God Coast, you know, there are several people, Musika woman, Besino Monsankai, and there are several other staff at Akoto. So for me, I think that we need to show that seriousness. That Ken Ofori Atta demonstrate to the people of this country. Say he is ready to account for his crimes because he is the masterpiece at the center of this whole corruption puzzle. Now, here try to unlock. Said that there be a Mexican, and for me, I think that it's very shameful. Said the Akoto on Nabusian for are trying to play and toy with the minds of the people of this country, and for me, that is the problem. And a captain. Nancy, me to say, let the Biaba Bontia Ken Ofori Atta family, the Chokoma special prosecutor said, Omunyi Nabusia, Omunyi free. Your friend saying, Interpol red alert, so now a good family, Nenima say, Daben. You see, and America say, society now, team, no, there is absolutely no shame because say Nipa was sense of shame and a remorse. That would be the last thing for them to do, and that was absolutely nonsense. You understand? Because you see, maybe some who say, Abra na Ken Ofori Atta Tikroma no gu amount for bank airborne kwasi abosia ye de oye ni nyina na family no mu vacation or China and I know more Zimbabwe. They never heard what happened when the gentleman was out there doing all the nasty stuff. Ghana for you megu Papa Kwasindu Oguni Bank when we had other options because I mentioned sir in 2008 America had similar challenges when Obama came. There was a tap that is trouble your friends say asset your friends say district where you reliever are buying on the buyer just to buy all these district companies out of your friends debt and Chase Bank and JP Morgan Chase in more financial way the government and make it available to go and buy this bank because in the financial sector then banks will have liquidity challenges. In America last 2 years, about Signature Bank and several other banks, because they all have challenges. Well, what they do is whenever they signal the red signs, then they try either merger acquisition and I say takeover. Then I say for them, these options were available on the table. We proposed to Ken Ofori Atta said, no, don't go after the individuals, don't go after the bank. We're Ghana for a year. He never listened to anybody. The gentleman destroy bank, destroy life. Obi a bank manager, we are not to preko or kwan family no omante. When all this nasty stuff were going on in this country, did you ever hear Ken Ofori Atta or family Okroma say? When even the MPP as a political party, some got peeved and said, no, the gentleman is destroying our party, and for that matter, and the president will have to take him out. You know, did you hear any family? When the guy was here as a finance minister, I sat and I told you that he was sick. Man can't know. Our program way. So I told you that the guy was sick. Because the guy was puffy. At the time, you know, the family no any love for that gentleman. And because I said, no, Ken. At this time, take a break, go and seek care for yourself. You allow him to hang on because at the time, people were enjoying him. People were flying first class. People were enjoying big contracting as a forum. You never spoke. And until now, Ghana for Ken Ofori Atta family, they are concerned about politics and whatever that happens in this country. Go back to your friends at the banking sector. Among for your friends saying, yeah, the Omudi Omusika. Akoto government bond in Nasefonum, and Merwafon Kokrafo Mu Kroma, Omo family. I think they should give us a break. Some of this nonsense doesn't fly in the face of logic and in the face of reasoning. And the Omo we even anger Ghanaians anymore. And it is as a result of some of these things. And in Ghana for are not showing any empathy, sympathy towards the gentleman, despite the health ordeals in Nasafo Okom. Because I want to hear Nema Wayan Okroma. Now, had the current predicament now. There is no way wait me sympathize with him because a bidum there Omanyara Nkoda hospital omuye papaya fa kama pharmaceutical say we Senchi mine omunyina died as a result of all these things and Ken Ofori Atta one way or the other nensa the death of these people because they died as a result of hardship or the baomoso among for banking sector eku omo okroma nya de ketwa. All these things were going on. We never heard of a family realizing said Niamana Yabano are very dangerous until let us come in. When the guy was foolishly borrowing in this country, all the Sika Kinke party because Wakobobosia, Nanya Dam the Wotima, Okobobosia. Ya floaty bonda Akoto why we now party and we celebrated some of this nonsense in this country and people thought yes they are the intellectuals. Now we all saw what happened and then I tried to get out of the woods. Under him Ghana's economy got junk and all the rating agents it got to a point that the whole Ghana, a sovereign country, could not step out there to borrow money because the gentleman has decapitated the head of the Ghana's economy. We are so I think that the family wherever they are, they should just shut up and give Ghanaians a break because you see, we are not interested in those nasty politics because if they had anything sensible to say, a branch and finance minister, maybe in Kayeniha, what's all these things? I won't follow you. Say Papa Kwasindo, Papa Yomfane Ajabi, military miner captain. What say on my life in Nasa form? You think Omodo win your life? I say, Omunia Busian for a car, Papa Kwasindo, dear man. I have a friend or a medical doctor in there. Nisika was our good coast in about 500 to 600 million. And I say for Obidia 1 billion, Obidia 3 billion. These things not happen because of Ken Ofori Atta, Ogu Bank. If nothing at all, you need to take over because as a government, the economic security of the people is paramount. And sometimes a man for I see said that statement is absolute nonsense because as a state, it is your responsibility to ensure that you regulate these financial institutions. Say by Ghanaians will not fall because don't forget that. Yes, I know to fly. Oh, it's a fact. Yes, what I say? So those vulnerable people, it is the responsibility of the state to ensure that he protect those people. Now, your father say, "Consider that who sorry be among 40 teams on Kote now, what one more damn about Sarafa? I was talking to JF and I said that maybe a president and then short down the baby. Yes, yes. And the parties are now to say, "Yamia in the camera born said deeper way in Nyansa, or they will suffer." I was asking so by the state, Adumane say those vulnerable people, you take care of them. So in the same way, look at the financial sector now. Obinya tisa dibiaba ebia no nimu hunim dia odnisika no kwakushem. So the state, award that regulatory mechanism it is your job to ensure that you take care of these vulnerable people. You don't allow them to fall prey to some of these enterprises. Now, the panel kotom we are. What I say, your friend is saying on one greed in the and these are things that the financial sector. But your friend saying, Captain, Yatsana Kromha, Amasani, my way, on 40. Near my say, yet me, your money, yan economy, the Ghana economy that come and then me drum the dollar ni cedi na stabilize it. Am I a slash by down can Ghana we so and and it's not as if that these people didn't know what they were doing because the whole concept, the whole motive, they say. You're taking over the financial sector of this country. Now you're making sure that we own it, we control it. Even in opposition, we'll still be in control. But catch any person, you'll be a winning answer and win your tumia. You should know that the most important thing that has to do with impacting positively on human beings. That is the only thing. Because I told the idea, you will need human beings. It's not about the many assets and so forth. But all these silly guys, when they got the money, you know what they did? Back for Timiko Jina State, no, I can't danya bombe 100, no, Tony, we and what away. nobody focus on humanity, building the next generation. And as for Sabaya, Nipa Dasanibe who say, oh, Abraboya ye boy, men, so these are the contribution, Matimaya, man leave this particular legacy there for the younger generation. Sabaya or Monsono. It is all about ourselves, making sure say we build a financial empire for ourselves, our family, and the next generation to come. Sabaya Yamaba omo mebre was asi we. So now what we are saying we are sure say what me atete o maya. You know that you push them to a pedestal. They can make life on their own. You understand that? But these criminals will only make sure say they set their children up forever, and for that matter, no, they will be out of everybody's league. They live with a certain lifestyle. But why ye? I will come no. Na sa sikana de yes, I money na no. Your sweat, your taxes, and as for na man for didi semuno. So for me, I think that the states have to be very radical. Makase. Say John Mahama by we see Daima Ghana ni bia. Now to talk more, Bianasa will go after these criminals. Ghanaians will never forgive him, and that is what he should do. And I like the way the Attorney General is going about it. Look at how few people sat at NSS. Me, Eddie and Sakobo, mine sickam, Sabayo, we on them Kroma, and then Akoto Football Club, and then I say people were hailing her left, right, center. Nobody on his right senses. The question is, where is this person getting this money from? Not knowing, say, they've created a syndicate, a criminal, investment, a cartel. And on my year, and on what's ghost names, they are Ghana and Kwani to meet your ghost, not the Otchere in Tianaka, and that's a problem. Our ghost names over 80-something thousand. And yet to me, a first state way sika, neither quite ya collateralizing a quite loan in us for Sanema when you go Kroma. Banks are no more yes, they knew the fact, they knew what were going on. So for me, I think time has come for us to set the red lines in the sense near country Ghana and he said, you know, Akwenya the Obenya to serve. Akwenya but Obana be messy up. The laws of the land, you know, need to deal with you. Say by Ghana for who say, or mine, you cannot joke with the country because you see, say you create that aura of weakness around us where people come to power, they mess up, and I know that all that they can do. And they say, Yamfa ahem from Kopachao, Yamfa Sofoni, Chinian Kopachao, and we will be forgiven. Trust me, we will never go anywhere because there are countries that far larger people that suffer similar fate. The last time I make a the United States of America, Captain, in the year 1973, they had a vice president. Your friend is Phil Agnew. What he did, or a senator or Maryland, under him, no, at the time, I know a senator, no, or evade tax and tax kickbacks and then as for a buyer. When the issue pop up, the people of America make sure said the vice president of the Republic of America will resign. And I'm going to your friend said Gerald Ford didn't buy it. Gerald Ford buy a vice president, you know, a year after, somewhere August 1974. And the president now noticed so Watergate scandal for that is Nixon. So Gerald Ford is the only person in the history of the world that were the vice president at the president of America will be to Obama because of scandal as we see here. Look at how people have suffered for this. By Hano, people mess up and we think so it's okay, he's a big man, he cannot face prosecution, the consequences, everything, and then you wave you off. And that is the kind of argument people are making. Make say baby so Ken Ofori Atta the life running Kwana, you know, Savo Ghana. Abra no Yara Krano he was dedicated to because baby one there. And the guy was out there making foolish investments, foolish decisions. And all these things was benefiting him. And it's the reason why I held it on to. Because he was sitting on some of the things that you on himself of Soroso Kotenafia and once and Baba. At the dying days in Akufo Addo Unifrio, or Unifrio will move out of this country. So the air cost not say I have master plan or my draw and I play out. So Ghanaians should not fall for some of this nonsense. Aban should make sure say extradition process must be activated and you making sure say these people yamfa omomra kroma and enyanya no maame na ono so mo convicted no for mass log no so akwatena bonten. I think that process will also be activated. No ono so mo fa na kroma say. You see, we need to be very ruthless in our approach. Now you're making sure say you cannot steal from this country and get away. And for me, that has always been my conviction because Captain, so what to when you call outside Accra? Now you see the way people are suffering and as a former. So such a country, you know, we cannot allow some of these things to happen and then people get away with it.
Thank you. Lucius.
Captain.
Bema na hojo. Yankwai.
Captain Medasi. I'm fa kwanya na menchi a ahwefu nyina. menchia ahwefu nyina menchia NDC fo a benso baje bra be hwe nyina na captain yade de obia ni ho ne o wiase ha onyare obia etimi yare e ma ne yi enti se koba ne se obedi dwumadi bi na se yade be si ho kwan a eno nko ade yetimi yeden yetimi exemptio mpanimfo kan asem bi se yisai eyi yade enti se oye ohene mpo a usai se o se anadwo anopaw bibia ye be fra obia no obeden obeba na mmom yade nko ane yade a ebetimi ama ohene ye be fra na obeka se o mintim nyeden mintim emma enti Ken Ofori Atta yare a otise onipa bia a wa asase so enti no ebetimi aye nokre se oyare na mmom se woni obi yeden edi nkita ho a se utimi respect nipa no nso ni nyansa wati ase se utimi ema amanfo hu se onipa yi so o nyansa odwen enti no enka in the first place no Ken Ofori Atta se o yare a ye no mu binum ye nye doctors enti no se o pese o ne e communicate a ni papa mu ye se babi a ukọ ya ye hwe wo no se utima saa hospital kro ana se doctor kro no oyeden ochro na otimi edebra OSP na ono nso etimi yeden ekenkan se ono kra ntinsem na ewo krata no mu ase a megidie se ye doctors akukudam wo ho a bebetimi ayeden akan na ba analyze e bi akire special prosecutor say yade asumasi no yeden wo yare me ne wo kasa yi ye timi to ye nsafro OSP to ne nsafro na wa make excuse from January I mean can say February no mu ho no ne issue we started say oto ne nsafro wa time bia o de yade eni yi ho ano yade na wo di yi ho ano no so nyina na akwa echi say wa mom no te ho no ma o trotro nkrata ede yeden ede bre OSP na ene ya ye kan ho asem yi ene de kra mpo de akwa ye wife o yiri mom ne ne de ono ka kire Ghana fo se yade na o yare no ene wakwa ye surgery no awie eni nti no obeba in 3 months time. Now the question is that sa information no ehefa no wife edifree or no communicate as a surgeon or no mom eye operation no ono no e report ya Ghana for ana say or communicate as a personal aid ana say saying wahu nti wotimu say enya dia Ken Ofori Atta na busuafo be respect Ghana for be muye in the first place because ohwe ne ya communication na or the buyer no needless na che say krampo de kame akoya ti say ono na to information na to abontin say special prosecutor pa onkofa na ohun say ne kunu no ayeden akoya surgery and into 3 months time ne obede obeba na unse emi na o sha se okay say special Ken Ofori Atta enye na dwen se obeba Ghana ne aba Ghana china enti eno aho tricks no widen wa sha se a oye no and mene no so ya adwen asasem na okan mene no ya adwen in the first place na enu kwansa special prosecutor nhwe ha ma Ken Ofori Atta efri man
there be said that time no be an issue any arrest order be for him
say na ye information na open say we investigate no and 2% investigate na nipa no haro nko ade na ese nka otimi eden wo hwe investigate na ansa na wako be sabre ya wako akodi hoidie ebe eden wahu eni ntino ne me ka bia akwa wie say sa way of say Ken Ofori Atta no na busuafo wo ho no ma na busuafo aka ache o say red alert na to wunyini mfiwo wo ho ana na yere enso de communicate eba wo ho ana Nti chese kame akoe te say buo na ne benye den be mu Ghana for. This is somebody what na Ghana high say atimi ayeden adi insamoni bebre ama abusuafo ho ehwe Ken Ofori Atta ene ode yade eyi no ho ano but time na MPP was nyema bebre ekosu Captain Okai ayi ofrensen Williams Tevi NCA charge via the ball Williams Tevi about $4 million ayi corruption the scandals Papa not every week be no worrying issue na katita esheno but every week be not oko court twice every week oko court twice oko Tuesday no was in court Thursday per sitting be oko spend 4 hours until within the week na man no spend 8 hours e court MPP for hunu mobile say obi a owo renal issue katita shen or court na court na katita shen or the court 4 hours within a week oko twice ene nyina chi ba mfa no wanche no besan jeli 16 years where near MPP for etimi ye no asasi so but jeli 16 years na jail no nyina no osanko maritime hospital every year be from offense prison no akọ maritime hospital enti other jail nyina no osane hwe no ho yade enti se yetim de yade ye ho anu sei dia e ma ne ye yi a adenti a ho no mom no mutimi prosecute obi nie oyare etwina de no kotu na ho de hu nipa de MPP for no person sometimes the person paint picture be I say be first class human beings bia Bennett ye say be mom issue no fa be ho justifiable but say any other person bia there ene yemfa no famra kwan so na nsan ya ya chi wu ntumi ana be ye woro waya yi Kwabena Agyapong case Bechi ayi Kwabena Agyapong obi a obeye deputy governor esan beye governor then time ayi bill terms abedima no 100 million ene no na ye ayi chairman wuntumi de be ye hu dede saa enti no captain de ameme kan dia ko wie say Ken Ofori Atta obi a wa mamanfo bebre awu Ghana ha wa mamanfo bebre anya ofrensen yade ne beko be yade what you say banking crisis ya ayi Ivan kan ho asemi now there wasn't any banking crisis bia artificial ban be create be share that create say na banks no issues because not the minimum requirement banks no ehia Ghana high say 120 million. Ne ba nkasa betena ase share say yankuku minimum capital requirement emfa nko 400 million. Ne ba kuku from just 120 million to offense 400 million. Now for that time ahode ama banks no say benfa ntu asa 400 million no just about 1 month. Be first can wo he uwie ya nipa no antimi anya sika no antwi awle ane bank no kra no onye liquid eninti no sem ye den me revoke ni licenses obi o ha no wa afre no say wo pede a ane age say consolidate ya keka bom obi o ha age say egu no na wo yes ane ho de gu amanfo banks wo krom ha sei ne nyina no na ye wo Ken Ofori Atta wo na ye den wo dano wo na wo disaduma ni nyina before MPP ebeba na sa wo Ken Ofori Atta wo banks no business no na enruba bia adri but na hu wo adwempo bi say ho pese ho ba be create some kind of financial empire ene yes Japade document na ebeto odwa na amanfo ka ho asem no because na ba bin nyina ebe say se bebeduru a beba be create financial empire yengugu amanfo banks yen say amanfo nyuma eno no saa ne betimi ama yen so yetimi eden yetimi aba be control system no ne neba ya ase amanfo ma organ ha sei last meeting say na we interview amoabe issue no ka say Ken Ofori Atta before obe na so say wagu ne bank no amoabe bank no ona oni fia anado no ahu obi a oye wo ankasa wadamfo o tim bet na ofie ni hu ene wudidi wonim pefe say o ba begu ne bank eno no krampo no wan ka hwe anche no ade a chen ye na wo ho titi mu na ne nipa no te ye ne say wagu ne bank nipa bonefo sem we selfa Dr. Indom bank na begu no wo ni companies dodo na be save wo sa bank wo the man Dr. Indom krabo from sa de no because na companies no dodo na GN electronics GN queries GN farm GN media GN whatever ni na ben so be save wo GN bank who collapse banks no sa companies ni nyina sika na ewo GN bank no kwanfa ama no kwanfa ni sika na ama no sa companies na save wo sa GN banks ni nyina sika na ewo hono no who collapse ni who seize who freeze sa accounts ni nyina na se wotna ase obi se ya ena na ayi kan Dr. Indom na ye friend no adwuma wura ono no create adwuma organ ha manipa bebre enya bi ye no ene ni nyuma ni nyina hwagu no kame akwa ti se won create adwuma bi ada isi ye ntena wiase enye saa ene ya ayi offense ye ka won se na wo ka ayifo asem wo sofu ya asem about ono so ka se National Cathedral, ye mabe $25 million. Me asambe mabe 25 million Ghana cedis. Enu mom me den eya dia sika be mom ben sakaye. So kame akwa ti say enu the 58 million na Ghana for nyina ka ho asem.
No credit that time na fe year 28 na ma ho. Entina no ye Pentecost aso dem Wasukwa Church of Pentecost PIWC. Pentecost International Worship Center. And now otchere say that time no na musha say na 3 months into the administration of the cathedral no na buy no $28 million and $25 million. Na no na parliamentarians ntia say but then no sika be to account no na nye government money. As my papa can.
And no oka source say na nye government money.
Yes, serious.
Na government money. Wahu enti Ken Ofori Atta adiboni bebre organ ha ya ene no sa public sympathy na open no on merit because enam ono ne nsamone a wadi so ama nipa bebre awu kurom ha sei enam ne so ama nipa bebre si sa domestic debt exchange a odi ba yi no enipa bebre pensioners ana be sika ewo wo banks a na at least be Bediatuo aduro mpo keke aduro obi a wakọ pension a ono ni ska wo bank o Bediatuo aduro keke kura na onya eno so ni masa pharmacies ya wo kan na asemi no eno so ni odi wuyi how entino captain mena de megidie say Ken Ofori Atta nye ready say opese oba Ghana but ye hear more commitment from the OSP kame akwa say Ghana for asha say kase we benje da hu how committed bia say OSP no what you say and again we ye no free hon ma ye wo other matters wo why say OSP no o den ohwehwem onye no ohwehwem because Ghana no ya boka ache yes ka kodi amanfo ho ache this is the time say etimi den yetim retrieve yes ka Ghana ha isi.
Thanks for watching. Like and share the video. You can also drop your comment. Please don't forget to subscribe. Click on the bell to turn on the notification.